Once upon a time, in a cozy barn on Farmer Brown's land, lived a roly-poly pig named Pippin. Pippin was known for his playful spirit and his love for muddy puddles. One evening, Pippin was feeling a bit grumpy. He was very tired, but no matter how he tried, he just couldn't fall asleep. Pippin rolled over this way and that on his soft straw bed. He counted the stars twinkling in the night sky, and he even tried counting his animal friends in the barn, but sleep just wouldn't come. Seeing Pippin toss and turn, Hooty, the wise old owl, fluttered down from his perch. He saw Pippin's droopy eyes and knew right away that the little pig needed help. Hooty told Pippin about the Slumber song, a special lullaby that helped any restless creature drift off to sleep. The only catch was that they needed to gather 3 key ingredients: a whisper of wind, a moonbeam, and a handful of night-blooming jasmine. Determined to get a good night's sleep, Pippin agreed to the quest, with Hooty leading the way. Pippin felt the gentle night breeze and captured a whisper of the wind in a bottle. Next, they carefully collected a shimmering moonbeam that had touched the barn's roof. Finally, under the glow of the moon, they found the night-blooming jasmine, its fragrance sweet and calming. Back in the barn, Hooty began to hum the Slumber song. The whisper of the wind whooshed gently, the moonbeam twinkling softly, and the night-blooming jasmine filled the air with soothing scent. The barn was filled with an enchanting melody that flowed like a slow, dreamy river. Listening to the Slumber song, Pippin's eyes grew heavier and heavier. The world around him seemed to slow down, and a cozy warmth spread through him. With a content sigh, Pippin finally drifted off into a peaceful sleep, his snores adding a soft rhythm to the Slumber song. And so, dear listener, as the night wraps you in its starlight blanket, remember Pippin's story. A good night's rest is a sweet adventure away. Good night, little dreamer. May your dreams be as peaceful and restful as Pippin's slumber in the cozy barn. Once upon a time, in a bustling city filled with towering skyscrapers and chattering people, lived a unique pigeon named Patty. Patty was just like any other pigeon, except for one thing: she didn't have any tail feathers. All the other pigeons would often soar through the sky, showing off their beautiful tail feathers, twinkling in the sunlight, and Patty would watch from the sidelines, her heart filled with a mixture of admiration and longing. She wished she could join them and feel the wind ruffle through her tail feathers. One day, as Patty was perched on a park bench, she noticed a group of children playing with paper and colours. They were folding the paper, transforming them into beautiful shapes. Patty's eyes widened as she realised they were creating paper birds. each adorned with vibrant tail feathers. An idea sparked in Patty's mind. If she couldn't grow her tail feathers, perhaps she could make them. Patty hopped over to the children, pecking gently at the coloured paper on the ground. The children noticed her interest and decided to help her. One of the children, a kind-hearted girl named Lily, carefully crafted small, colourful paper feathers. Patty stood still, holding her breath, as Lily gently attached the paper feathers to her tail. When they were done, Patty turned to see her reflection in a nearby puddle, and to her absolute delight, she saw a beautiful array of paper tail feathers. Patty spread her wings, feeling the weight of her new tail. With a running start, she took off into the sky, the wind catching her paper feathers, making her feel like she was one of the other pigeons. She twirled, she dipped and soared, her heart filled with joy. From that day forward, Patty became a special sight in the park. Her colourful paper tail would flutter in the wind, reflecting the sunlight, making her stand out from all the other birds. And while she was different, she was happy. She had found a way to fit in on her own terms, and the children, especially Lily, had found a new friend. And so, dear listener, as your eyes grow heavy with sleep, remember Patty's story. Even when things seem tough, there's always a way to make them better. Embrace what makes you unique, just like Patty did. Good night, little dreamer. May your dreams be as colourful and unique as Patty's paper tail feathers. Once upon a time, deep beneath the shimmering sea, lived a charming mermaid named Marla. Marla had a fascination for collecting seashells. She loved the different colours, sizes and shapes, and each shell told a story she cherished. Every day, Marla would swim through the kelp forests, explore the sandy seabed, and visit coral castles, looking for unique shells. Her collection grew, filling her cozy sea cave with shells that sparkled like underwater stars. One day, while exploring a distant part of the reef, Marla discovered an enormous shell, unlike any she had seen before. It was as big as a sea turtle and shone with a pearl-like luster. Excited, Marla brought the magnificent shell back to her cave. As she placed the shell among her collection, it made a beautiful sound, like the gentle whisper of waves. Marla was intrigued. She tapped another shell and discovered that it too made a sound, but different, like the tinkling laughter of sea sprites. Marla started experimenting, tapping different shells and discovering that each one made a unique sound. Before she knew it, she had created a melody, a symphony of shell sounds that echoed through the underwater world. Word spread quickly about Marla's shell symphony. Fishes of every colour, playful dolphins, slow-moving turtles, and even the shy octopuses gathered around her cave, enchanted by the beautiful sounds. Marla was thrilled. to share her love of shells in such a wonderful way. Every day became a new concert as she played her shell symphony, creating harmonies that resonated through the ocean. Her shell collection was no longer just beautiful to look at, but it was also a source of joyous music that brought the entire sea community together. And so, dear listener, as the moon peeks through your window and lullabies fill the night, remember Marla's story. Finding joy in the simple things and sharing that joy with others can create beautiful harmonies. Good night, little dreamer. May your dreams be as melodic and delightful as Marla's shell symphony. Once upon a time, deep in the heart of a lush green forest, lived a jovial moose named Monty. Monty was an enormous creature with a heart just as big. Loved by all the animals in the forest. Amongst all of his friends, there was one Monty held dear, a cheerful beaver named Bucky. Bucky and Monty were the best of friends, spending their days exploring the forest, playing games, and sharing stories. However, one day, Bucky's family had to move to another forest, far, far away, due to a lack of food and materials to build their dam. Monty was heartbroken. Days turned into weeks, and weeks turned into months. Monty missed his friend terribly. He missed Bucky's infectious laughter and their adventurous explorations and the fun games they used to play. The forest felt a little less sunny without Bucky around. One day, Monty decided to send a gift to Bucky. He thought hard about what his friend could like and decided to send a piece of their forest to Bucky. Monty carefully selected different leaves, acorns, pine cones, and even added a little vial of water from their favourite lake. He packed them neatly and gave the parcel to a migratory bird who was heading in the direction of Bucky's new home. Days passed, and Monty continued with his usual routine, although his heart felt a little lighter knowing that a part of his and Bucky's beloved forest was heading to Bucky. Then, one sunny afternoon, Monty saw a bird flying towards him carrying a parcel. Monty opened the parcel to find a gift from Bucky. Inside were smooth stones from Bucky's new river, bark from the trees nearby, and a little drawing of Bucky and his new dam. The best surprise was a mirror. Bucky had written a note saying, "This mirror is so you can see the joy in your eyes, just like I used to." Monty looked into the mirror. His eyes welled up with happy tears. It was as if Bucky was right there, laughing and joking with him. He realized that even though they were miles apart, their friendship was just as strong. From that day forward, Monty and Bucky sent parcels to each other, sharing bits of their homes and lives. Monty learned that while he missed Bucky, their friendship could bridge any distance. And so, dear listener, as you drift off into your dreams, Remember Monty and Bookie's story. True friendship knows no boundaries or distance. It stays strong, no matter how far apart friends might be. Good night, little dreamer. May your dreams be filled with warmth and friendship, just like Monty's and Bookie's. Once upon a time, in the heart of a lush green forest, lived a slow and steady sloth named Sammy. Sammy had a precious gift from his grandpa, a beautiful watch that always kept perfect time. Sammy loved his watch dearly and wore it everywhere he went. One warm afternoon, after a long leisurely nap, Sammy woke to find his beloved watch missing. He looked around his cozy tree, but the watch was nowhere to be seen. Sammy felt a pang of worry. That watch was his link to his grandpa and a treasure he couldn't bear to lose. Even though sloths are not known for their speed, Sammy started his search right away. He slowly made his way down from his tree, asking his neighbors if they'd seen his watch. The monkeys hadn't seen it in the trees, and the toucans hadn't spotted it from the sky. Just as Sammy was about to lose hope, he met Timmy the turtle. Timmy was known for his keen eyesight and had a knack for finding lost things. He agreed to help Sammy in his search. Together, they journeyed through the rainforest. Along the way, they helped a baby bird find its nest. They found a lost berry basket for the mice, and even rescued a kite stuck in the trees for the playful monkeys. Yet Sammy's watch remained missing. As the day was nearing its end, Timmy suggested they rest by the peaceful forest stream. As they sat, Sammy noticed a twinkling reflection in the water. He peered closer, and to his absolute delight, it was his watch. It had fallen off while he was drinking from the stream the previous day. With Timmy's help, Sammy retrieved his precious watch. Its familiar tick-tock brought a wave of relief over him. Sammy thanked Timmy, feeling grateful not just for finding his watch, but also for the unexpected adventure and good deeds they had done along the way. And so, dear listener, as you snuggle into your bed and the night paints dreams in your sleep, remember Sammy's story. Even in moments of worry, there can be unexpected adventures and small acts of kindness. Good night, little dreamer. May your dreams be as comforting and fulfilling as Sammy's timeless adventure. Once upon a time, in a bustling city of towering skyscrapers and busy streets, a team of brilliant scientists worked tirelessly in a large laboratory. They were creating a special space rocket named Roxy. Roxy was not just any rocket. She was designed to be the first rocket to travel beyond our solar system. Roxy was built with the dreams of countless people and the hopes of unraveling the mysteries of the universe. On the day of her launch, people from all over the world watched in anticipation. Roxy felt a rush of excitement and a touch of nervousness as the countdown began. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and with a roar that echoed across the land and a fiery blast lighting up the sky, Roxy was launched into the starlit vastness of space. The earth grew smaller and smaller as Roxy soared higher and higher, soon entering the expanse of space. She saw the moon, the planets, and the stars, all the celestial wonders that had intrigued mankind for centuries. Roxy was awestruck by the beauty surrounding her. Roxy's journey was long, but she was not alone. She was accompanied by a robotic helper, a little robot named Beep, who kept her systems in check and communicated updates back to the scientists on Earth. After many months, Roxy and Beep reached the outer boundaries of our solar system. This was the moment everybody had been waiting for, and with a burst of energy, Roxy propelled herself into the unknown. It was an entirely new realm, a place untouched by any spacecraft before. Roxy and Beep witnessed incredible sights. Stars of different colours, galaxies swirling in cosmic ballet, and mysterious celestial bodies. Roxy was thrilled to be part of something so significant. Meanwhile, on Earth, Roxy became a symbol of hope and ambition. Children would look up at the sky, daydreaming of the far-off places Roxy was exploring. They would imagine themselves as astronauts, scientists, and explorers, inspired by Roxy's incredible journey. And so, dear listener, as your eyelids grow heavy and the stars twinkle outside your window, remember Roxy's story. Dream big, be curious, and remember that even the sky is not the limit when it comes to what you can achieve. Good night, little dreamer. May your dreams be as boundless and exciting as Roxy's journey across the universe. Once upon a time, in the heart of a vast jungle, lived a gentle elephant named Elvin. Elvin was the oldest elephant in the herd, known for his wisdom and kindness. The jungle was buzzing with excitement because Elvin's birthday was just around the corner, and the animals wanted to do something special for their beloved friend. The monkeys, known for their mischief, decided to bake the biggest birthday cake the jungle had ever seen. They gathered coconuts for the cream, juicy berries for the jam and sweet bananas for the cake itself. With the help of the other animals, they built an oven out of clay and stone and got to work. The toucans and parrots were in charge of whisking, and the strong gorillas managed the heavy lifting. The cake was a sight to behold. It was as tall as the giraffe's knees and was decorated with tropical fruits and colourful flowers. The animals were proud of their creation, but they faced a new problem. How were they going to deliver the giant cake to Elvin? That's when the ants, the tiniest creatures in the jungle, stepped up. They may have been small, but they were also the strongest. Working together, they formed a large team and slowly but surely moved the cake towards Elvin's favourite watering hole. Elvin was enjoying a peaceful nap when he smelled something delicious. He opened his eyes, couldn't believe what he saw. A gigantic, mouth-watering cake, surrounded by all of his friends, who burst into a cheerful birthday song. Elvin's eyes twinkled with joy as he thanked everyone for the beautiful surprise. Then, with a little help from the wind, he blew out the giant candle the fireflies had lit, making a wish that this unity and friendship in the jungle would last forever. And so, dear listener, as the stars twinkle outside and your blanket snuggles you tight, remember Elvin's birthday story. No matter how big the task, when friends work together, anything is possible. Good night, little dreamer. May your dreams be as sweet and joyous as Elvin's magnificent birthday cake. Once upon a time, in the calm, quiet town of Meadowbrook, near the shimmering blue lake, lived a lively goose named Gertie. Gertie was a cheerful goose, known for her robust honk that echoed throughout the town. While Gertie loved her booming voice, it was a bit too loud for the peaceful Meadowbrook. Every morning, Gertie would greet the day with her honk, waking everyone up even before the rooster had a chance to crow. During the day, her enthusiastic honks would startle the cows and the sheep in the fields. Her evening salutations to the moon were louder than the hooting of the owl. The townsfolk didn't know what to do about Gertie's loud honks. One day, Bella the bluebird, known for her sweet song, had an idea. She proposed a talent show where every animal would showcase their unique sounds. The townsfolk loved the idea and hoped it would teach Gertie about the beauty of quieter sounds. The day of the talent show arrived. The cows mooed in harmonious low tones. The sheep gave soft, soothing bars, and Bella herself sang a beautiful, melodious song. Each animal added their unique sound, creating a lovely symphony that filled the air. Finally, It was Gertie's turn. She took a deep breath, ready to deliver her loudest honk. But then she paused, remembering the soothing sounds her friends had made. She realized that while her honk was unique to her, it didn't quite fit with the rest of the serene symphony of Meadowbrook. So, with a new understanding, Gertie took another breath, and this time gave a softer, gentler honk. It was still powerful and unique to Gertie, but it also complemented the other sounds of Meadowbrook. The townsfolk were delighted and applauded Gertie. They were happy to hear her incorporate the calmness of Meadowbrook into her honks, while still maintaining her cheerful spirit. From that day forward, Gertie greeted the day, the townsfolk, and the moon with her new, melodious honk. And so, dear listener, as the soft light lulls you to sleep, remember Gertie's story. Every voice is unique and beautiful, and every sound has its own place in the world's symphony. Good night, little dreamer. May your dreams be as peaceful and harmonious as the symphony of Meadowbrook. Once upon a time, in a town nestled between hills and rivers, there lived a curious little girl named Nadia. Nadia had a heart full of wonder and a mind full of questions. Her favourite place was the Grand Library, where she could read all the magical tales and adventurous stories from far-off lands. But her most beloved story was about the flower dragon. The flower dragon was said to reside in the farthest part of the enchanted forest, where rare, magical flowers bloomed all year round. The dragon had the power to make any flower blossom with a single breath. Nadia yearned to meet this dragon, to witness the blooming of the flowers in an instant. One sunny morning, Nadia decided to venture into the enchanted forest to find the flower dragon. With a heart full of excitement and a backpack filled with essentials, she embarked on her journey. After a long day of wandering, Nadia reached a magical glade filled with rare, colourful flowers. They were beautiful, but strangely, none of them were blooming. Right in the middle of the glade, she found a dragon, lying, looking rather sad. With her heart pounding in excitement and a bit of fear, she approached the dragon. "Hello," she said. Are you the flower dragon?" The dragon lifted its head and nodded. "Yes, I am, but I can't make the flowers bloom anymore. I've lost my magic because I'm so lonely. I haven't had a friend in the longest time." Nadia, with her kind heart, offered, "I'll be your friend. I've read all about you and I've always wanted to meet you. Let's make these flowers bloom together." A smile appeared on the dragon's face. Nadia spent the day with the dragon, sharing stories and laughter. The dragon, feeling joyous for the first time in a long while, took a deep breath and blew onto the flowers. Like magic, all the flowers in the glade bloomed in an array of beautiful colours, their fragrance filling the air. From that day on, Nadia visited the flower dragon every day. Their friendship making the enchanted forest bloom with vibrant colours and sweet fragrance. And so, dear listener, as the stars twinkle in the night sky and the moon watches over your dreams, remember Nadia's tale. Friendship is a powerful magic that can make even the saddest heart bloom with joy. Good night, little dreamer. May your dreams be filled with vibrant flowers and warm friendships, just like Nadia's adventure with the flower dragon. Once upon a time, in the heart of a thick, green jungle, lived a rather unusual crocodile named Crispy. Crispy was unlike his fellow crocodiles. Instead of lounging in the sun or swimming in the swamp, Crispy had a passion for something quite unexpected. He loved motorbikes. Right in the middle of the jungle, Crispy had found an old, rusted motorbike. It was left behind by an adventurer long ago. With his keen eye and curiosity, Crispy decided to fix it and make it his own. Crispy was no ordinary crocodile. He was clever, handy, and loved to tinker with things. With a spanner clenched in his jaw, oil on his scales, and an unwavering determination, Crispy worked on the motorbike day and night. He fixed the engine, patched the tyres, and polished the body until it shone like a gem in the jungle. The day came when Crispy finally kick-started the motorbike. With a rumble and a roar, it came to life. The jungle inhabitants watched in astonishment as Crispy, the crocodile, revved the motorbike's engine with a proud smile on his snout. With his helmet securely fastened, Crispy zoomed off on his motorbike. He dashed through the jungle trails, splashed through the streams, and whizzed past the wide-eyed animals. His heart was filled with exhilaration and pure joy. Crispy's motorbike became a wonder of the jungle. The animals would cheer as he roared by, and some even asked for a ride. Crispy, with his big heart, would gladly take them on short journeys, sharing his joy with his friends. But Crispy's favourite time was when the sun was setting, painting the sky with hues of orange and pink. He would ride to the edge of the jungle, near the peaceful lake, and watch the sunset. There, with his motorbike by his side, he felt a sense of peace and satisfaction. Crispy had followed his passion, despite it being unusual for a crocodile, and found his own unique joy. And so, dear listener, as your eyes drift closed and dreams beckon, remember Crispy's story. Be brave, follow your heart, and don't be afraid to stand out. For in our differences, we find our uniqueness and joy. Good night, little dreamer. May your dreams be as adventurous and fun as Crispy on his motorbike rides through the jungle. Once upon a time, in the heart of the seaside town of Sunny Sands, two twin brothers, Enzo and Max, lived side by side. Even though they were born minutes apart, they couldn't look more different. Enzo had dark blonde hair, olive skin, and enchanting hazel eyes. Max, on the other hand, had bright blonde hair, white skin, and captivating blue eyes. Despite their different appearances, they shared a bond like no other, as if they were two pieces of a puzzle that perfectly fit together. They laughed together, they played together, and even dreamt together, each with a unique sparkle in their eye. One sunny day, a grand kite festival was announced in Sunny Sands. Enzo and Max were both excited to participate, and they began making their kites. Enzo made a kite with warm colours like red and orange, reminiscent of a sunset, while Max chose cool colours like blue and white, reminding him of the sea and the sky. The day of the festival arrived. The sky was painted with kites of every shape, size, and colour. Enzo and Max, each holding their unique kites, stood side by side. They sprinted down the sandy beach, their kites soaring high in the sky. From afar, people noticed two distinct kites dancing together in harmony, echoing the deep bond between the two brothers. And although the kites were as different as day and night, everyone agreed they made the most beautiful pair. As the sun began to set, Enzo and Max were awarded the best kite pair. Holding their prize, the brothers realised something special. Even though they weren't identical, they complemented each other, just like the colours of their kites. Enzo's warm sunset hues wouldn't shine as bright without Max's cool sea and sky tones. They were different, yet their differences made their bond stronger, unique, and indeed special. And so, dear listener, as the stars sparkle in the night sky and the moon sings you a lullaby, remember the story of Enzo and Max. Being unique is special, and differences can create the most beautiful harmony. Good night, little dreamer. May your dreams be as colourful and harmonious as the kites of Enzo and Max. Once upon a time, in the sunny town of Pupsville, there lived a playful little dog named Biscuit. Biscuit was a ball of energy, always running around, chasing butterflies and playing with his bright, bouncy ball. However, there was one thing that Biscuit was scared of. He was scared of swimming. No matter how hot the day or how enticing the cool pond looked, Biscuit would never venture near the water. One warm, sunny afternoon, Biscuit was playing in the park with his favourite ball. With a mighty leap, he pounced on the ball. But oh no! The ball bounced away, rolled down a hill, and splash, landed in the middle of the park's pond. Biscuit rushed to the edge of the water, his tail drooping. He could see his ball floating calmly on the surface, but the thought of jumping into the unknown scared him. Just as Biscuit was about to lose hope, he saw a group of ducks swimming in the pond. He watched them paddle effortlessly, their feathery bodies bobbing safely on the water. They seemed to be having so much fun. This sight gave Biscuit a little spark of courage. "Biscuit," he told himself, "if the ducks can swim, why can't I?" Gathering all of his bravery, Biscuit took a few steps back, took a deep breath, and ran towards the pond, splashing into the water. It was a bit of a shock at first, but Biscuit soon realised it wasn't so bad. He kicked his legs and paddled his paws, just like the ducks, and to his surprise, he began to swim. He swam all the way to his beloved ball and grabbed it in his mouth. Then, with his tail wagging in victory, he swam back to shore, feeling prouder than he had ever felt before. From that day forward, Biscuit was no longer scared of swimming. He found a new joy in splashing around in the water, especially on warm sunny days, and he was even happier when he could do it all while playing with his favourite ball. And so, dear listener, as you drift into a world of dreams under the soft starlit sky, remember Biscuit's adventure. Fear is only a moment, courage is a choice, and who knows, you might find a new joy just beyond the fear. Good night, little dreamer. May your dreams be as brave and joyful as Biscuit's first swim.